Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be sharing my top 10 favorite books for elementary age boys. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, the Happy Homeschooler. So my list today is of books that I have read to my boys that they love and I loved. So we're going to start with an old classic. The very first book I recommend is The Wind in the Willows. This is The Wind in the Willows. It follows the story of Mole, who basically is living in a hole, because he's a mole, and he emerges and he makes friends with Ratty and Toad, and there's this grand adventure. I cannot sum it all up into a few short words, but they have friendships and they have adventures, and I think that most children love stories that include friendships, adventures, animals, and so on. So I definitely recommend this book. We love it. The next one I have to recommend is Pup Patrol the Series. It is farm rescue. This is the first one in the series. I said 10 and I'm limiting it to 10. However, this is a series of 4 books and they're all really sweet. It's told from the dog's perspective. You get to follow Stamp as he goes and helps rescue, in this case, a farm animal, but other adventures too. And it's just a fun, sweet story and the kids really enjoyed it. Next on my list is the Big Max books. I'm putting these as 2 in 1, so I'm kind of sneaking in 11 books, but it's because they're like really short and they're adorable. He is a detective and he's very funny, and they're traveling, well, he travels by umbrella and he makes a lot of interesting discoveries. I think they gotta do it a play on like Sherlock Holmes, like see it's Max, the world's greatest detective, and he's kind of got, he's got the hat and the coat, and so it's kind of a play on Sherlock Holmes for children, and it's just a cute little detective story. The next one I have is Frog and Toad Are Friends. We have the whole treasury because one is not enough when it comes to Frog and Toad. They're hilarious. I also have it on CD and I play it for the kids in their rooms so they can listen to the audio version. But they love Frog and Toad Are Friends, and I like Frog and Toad Are Friends because it teaches really good stories. And I always liked Frog better because he kind of was just like, he just had like a cheery attitude. He was like glass half full, and Toad was always like just kind of a stinker. But anyway, I loved their characters. I loved Arnold Lobel's illustrations. I loved everything about Frog and Toad Are Friends, and so do the boys. Number 5 on my list is Crocodile Attack, but it's the whole extreme adventure series from Usborne. These are just really, really fast-paced, which makes them perfect for little boys with short attention spans that still want to hear a good story, but don't feel like sitting there and waiting for the build-up. So in these stories, they're super fast-paced, so they're perfect to read out loud to your younger kids. So my 5-year-old, my 7-year-old, they love this. I think it's probably like a 3rd, 4th grade reading level, I think is like the age for it, but it's a really fun, easy read aloud. The next one on my list is Redwall. When I bought Redwall, I already knew that I loved it because I've read it as a child. I've read the whole series as a child. And this is like a timeless tale. And the series is huge, so I can't even like tell you about all the different characters. My 5-year-old, who at the time I think was 4, loves this book. Like, he understands it, he gets it, and he loves it. So it's definitely a great read, a great option for younger boys because it's just full of adventure, and there's sword fighting, and there's, captivity and rescue and all kinds of like adventures. And my kids love adventure stories. I think a lot of kids like adventure stories, right? So definitely recommend this book for all ages, but especially if you want to like find a good read aloud for the whole family. These books will fit the bill, I hope, for you because they were so much fun. Okay, the next book I have to say is all of the Beatrix Potter books. So this is the treasury. I actually got this when I was a child. This is the child's treasury of Beatrix Potter, and if you have never read Beatrix Potter, oh my goodness, you're missing out. I love her stories. They are so sweet and they have really good like morals. I think that one of the things I love about a lot of old books is like they just have a lot of like, there's character driven in, and I like that. I like when there's like good lessons learned I mean, they're not all Peter Rabbit, right? Peter Rabbit's so naughty. The other stories are really fun too, and they're just sweet and endearing, and my kids love all of the characters. Everywhere we go when we see the Peter Rabbit or any of the Beatrix Potter characters, all the kids get a like kick out of it. I think there's even movies. In fact, I know there's movies. There are movies and they stick well because I'm pretty sure they're just reading the text, but the books themselves are so sweet and so much fun, and I highly recommend them from a very young age up through, I mean, I still enjoy them. So young age to adulthood, you know, young age to forever, because these are so much fun. The next book is the Bear Grylls series. Oh my goodness, my boys love the Bear Grylls series. These are so good too because every single book teaches a lesson. So this one was about Omar, and he wants to be first in everything, and he gets really mad when he's not first place, and he gets mad and he like blames his teammates because he feels like they made him lose. And but there's this like magical compass that another child passes to, like they pass to each other at a time of need. And so he gets past the compass, or he finds the compass, and then he basically is transported to another place with Bear Grylls, and Bear Grylls teaches him a lesson, and that's each book. So each book features a different child learning a different lesson, conquering fear, conquering wanting to be first place and having a bad attitude. I'm trying to remember all the different ones, but you get the point. They each teach a lesson. They're really fun. They're fast-paced, so good for little kids. They also have good illustrations in them, you know. So it definitely keeps it interesting. The kids like to sit next to me and watch it. So the next book is My Father's Dragon, which is just a funny fictional story about a little boy, and it's just a fun, cute little story. And I mean, it's not super long, but I mean, it could be read in a day, but we usually read like a couple chapters at a time, and then, you know, we get through it in like a few days. But this is a fun, fast-paced, easy to read, fun story for elementary age boys, for sure. This is a good choice. And last but not least, all of the Dr. Seuss books. This one is a favorite right now. We read it a lot because Dr. Seuss is just amazing, and I don't think his stories ever get old. You can just reread them and reread them, and I like reading them because I love all the rhyming and the silly words, like nonsensical words he makes up. They are learning while they're listening to the stories, and I think that they're really, really engaging. And of course, Dr. Seuss has like the best illustrations ever. I mean, they're just constantly wonderful. So that's also a perk. There's my 10 list of books for elementary age boys. If you want a list for our 3rd grade girls or our middle grade girls, you can check out the video I'll have right up here. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.